you heard me a lot since we started. I keep on talking whatever comes in my mind. So for that, I have one. Anyone listens to any Gujarati poetry, songs, ghazals? No? Okay. So everyone, please, everyone, please close your ears because I'm going to sing. Right? Okay. So okay. So uh, so I'm going to tell basically the lines which I'm going to sing is about story of mine for last few days what I'm facing. So it says વર્ષો જવાને જોઈએ ત્યાં ક્ષણમાં જઈ ચડ્યો આશ્ચર્ય વચ્ચે એમના આંગણમાં જઈ ચડ્યો. That means where it takes years to reach, I reached in like few moments, right? So I was not going to do anchoring or being a master of ceremony for today, but somehow I just roped in because I wanted Nilesh Bhai to have a great time listening to me because we are always hear him. Yeah, so that's last moment I roped in and I was here last night till like 1 a.m. So bear with me. And with me is my co-host Abhilasha madam, Dr. Abhilasha Vyas. Please welcome her. And good thing about our community is madam was a speaker in our first community, right? Where we had in JSFC University. Madam was the speaker and now she is anchoring the event. So, and a lot of our volunteers are such that they can play any role. So I picked up any role which was available, which was free. So similarly, madam also roped in. So madam, yeah, go ahead, it's for you.
Sharing is caring. We are sharing mic also because we are waiting for that guy to come to switch on the another mic. Yeah. So very good morning to all of you and thank you all for your passion for learning on Saturday morning. We are also very much excited and we have so many things on the platter for you. Even though you are a beginner, intermediate or advanced person or completely new to AWS, we have so many things planned for you all for entire day. Thank you Nirmal sir for setting up the stage and I've seen that you all have said the Josh is high. I hope that is continued till now. The Josh is high? Yes. My Josh is very high. I am very excited because he told me that as a speaker, but no, I joined user group as an attendee, as a you all only in 2020 when there was a first virtual session and Priyal, who is a speaker for today's event also, she was delivering IAM session, I still remember. So journey started 2020 as an attendee, speaker, volunteer, and today I'm a part of core team standing here in front of you. That's really an amazing journey which I've seen in community and I really appreciate and thanks the entire team, especially Dimple ma'am, motivating a lot, women in tech to come in the front and for that only we had organized one event yesterday in GSFC University and we had so many future women in tech. For that event, Ridhima was also there, Mahima was also there and there were so many other speakers from AWS and GSFC University. So today also we are set and ready. So Nirmal sir, what do you think?
So as you madam mentioned, Josh is high. How is the Josh? High. Seems like you did not have good breakfast. Did not this have a good? How is the Josh?
Hi.
That's the Josh we want. Okay, so I want Nilesh Bhai to come on the stage and share a few words because he has something to share for everyone.
Good morning all. So this is just small, maybe a 2-line actually. I'm not a very good singer, but I'm not very bad singer. So I'll probably very old song. Those who like slightly maybe 90s can correlate me, but that's probably a song which will be correlated to this event and especially in cloud. So let me try. Check, mic check, right? Just joking. It's a Mukesh old song, but I'll try to correlate with our community day. So the song is very famous actually. If you know the words, probably you can sing with me. The song is सुहाना सफर और ये मौसम हसी सुहाना सफर और ये मौसम हसी. This is the journey we are starting today, and you have a lot of things there. So what all things will be? हमें डर है हम खो न जाए कहीं, सुहाना सफर और ये मौसम हसी. So today, like we have a lot of things about knowledge. Knowledge की बारिश होने वाली है. So आपको decide करना है कि आपको क्या मिलेगा, क्या नहीं मिलेगा, and you have to take it, right? So the journey started already, and you will get a lot of things today. The final few lines that is related to cloud. I related to cloud, so I'll try to sing that. वो आसमां झुक रहा है ज़मीन पर. Asma, that means related to cloud. So today, literally, we have a lot of people from AWS arrived over here, experts from cloud computing, AWS. So again, वो आसमां झुक रहा है ज़मीन पर, वो आसमां झुक रहा है ज़मीन पर, ये मिलन हमने देखा यहीं पर. So today it's kind of a technological kind of sangam. So we have a lot of people, we wanted to learn a lot of things, and you'll see that, make sure like you'll get what you want. Last part. वो आसमां झुक रहा है ज़मीन पर, ये मिलन हमने देखा यहीं पर, मेरी दुनिया मेरे सपने मिलेंगे शायद यहीं. So get your dream over here. As far as the cloud computing, AWS is the best, and I hope you will get the best. Thank you all, and you can start now.
Amazing, Nilesh sir. You have so many hidden talents. Thank you for sharing this with us. So, absolutely, we have some incredible sessions lined up, designed to not only host and boost your knowledge, but also your career. So throughout the day, you will have access to career counseling sessions. This is a new initiative which we have started. So in these career counseling sessions, you can get personalized advice from industry leaders to guide you on your AWS journey. So please take most out of career counseling sessions which we have planned for you, and make sure to check out the designated area for that. We'll guide you soon that where you can go for these career counseling sessions. And as I mentioned that we have a platter today for the learning. So we have unique tracks, beginner, intermediate and advanced track, which are designed to meet the learning requirements of all the attendees based on your level of expertise, but more on that later, because now we are going to kick off our day, and I would like to introduce someone who is inspiring a lot. So many women in this community started initiative Women in Tech India also. So please join hands to welcome a personality which I admire a lot, look a lot. So get ready to hear from someone who is being at the forefront of tech marketing for over 12 years. She's worked on with some of the biggest name in the industry. I don't want to take the name of the other companies, that's why I'm not taking, and is now leading the charge at AWS, building vibrant developer communities across India and South Asia with a passion for innovation, growth and digital transformation. Please join me in welcoming Ridhima Kapoor.
Hello, good morning. Came cho Vadodara? Mahima? Awesome. I am so excited to be here. This is my first ever Vadodara Community Day. In fact, first time in Vadodara. So like super excited, and thank you so much for this opportunity to be here with all of you today, and thank you so much for all you joining us today on a Saturday morning. Thank you so much. Before I start with any of these slides, I first want to know everybody here a little better. So how many of you are attending Vadodara Community Day for the first time? Raise of hands please. Wow, almost 90%. So we are in the same boat. This is my first Vadodara Community Day as well. Amazing. And how many of you are working professionals? Okay, I see almost 80%. Wow. Rest who are not working professionals, students. Raise your hands please. Wow, amazing. Toshal is raising hands in everything. You decide, Toshal. And who has come from outside of Vadodara? Anybody? Okay, where are you from? Anybody who would like to just shout out where you guys are coming from? Ahmedabad. How many Ahmedabad? I can hear Bareilly. Jhumka Girare. Anybody coming from outside of India? Let's think big. मुझे सुनने में आया था सुबह कि कोई इंडिया से बाहर आया है. Okay. Awesome. That's amazing. That's so great to hear. So a little about myself. You should know who you are tolerating for the next 15 minutes, right? So I am Ridhima. I lead developer communities for AWS India and South Asia. And I've been working in the tech industry for the past 12 years. And just like all other millennials, I love traveling. I am a big foodie. And just yesterday, I realized and I found two new loves. One, Garba. That was my first ever Garba. And we actually, don't tell anybody, but we actually gate crashed somebody else's Garba. That was even fun. And then I found a new love. Please help me, somebody. What was that dish that we tried yesterday? Save Usad. Vadodara, you're giving a tough competition to Misal Pav. Amazing. So today you have heard a lot about community. A lot of you are hearing about. Thank you so much, Abhilasha, for sharing your experience. And similarly, just like Abhilasha, a lot of people reach out to me, talking about, hey, you keep talking about community on your social media, but what is it? How can we be part of it? So let's talk about it a little today, but before that, I also want to know what made you all come today here, despite being a Saturday, 9 a.m. to attend this event. And that too for the first time. You had no experience and you didn't know what is happening here. Anybody would like to share why they came here today? Anybody? Come on, don't be shy, Vadodara. Yes, please, sir. I can hear you.
And people are connected to each other very nicely. So for me it's first time and I love to see what IT people do.
Awesome. Anybody else wants to share why they are here or what IT people do? Can you tell?
To gain some knowledge and make some network.
Very nice. Anybody else? Anybody here for good food, good sessions, or to hear Nilesh sing Anybody? Yes, please go ahead, ma'am.
Hello everybody, I am Meera Pechkar and I am from Vadodara, and I have been in the IT industry for the past 7 years. Began my career as a developer, then into many QA leadership roles, and now I am a customer success manager at a Bangalore-based company ruling the world named Headspin, and we are slightly moving into the AWS domain, and I work remotely from Vadodara. And since this is an AWS event and I'm beginning my career with AWS, gaining certifications, so it's a community-based event, and I'm a fan of Ridhima ma'am and others also. I've been following you on LinkedIn.
Thank you.
So it has been a great pleasure to be a part of this community, and I soon seek to be a part of the Vadodara user group community as well. Thank you, everybody.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So that exactly I'm gonna talk today about, right? The power of community. How we can all come together and build better together. So, why? So that's what exactly that we talked about, right? Why do you are here? Why are you here? So be it, if you are just starting out, be it in your college, you're just exploring the opportunities in cloud computing, or let's say you are a working professional who are already there in this domain. So there is something for everybody to be part of a community, right? Be it knowledge sharing, or let's say getting support from your peers, or in fact finding your mentors in the industry, hearing from some AWS experts, or in fact you also get to have some fun, hear Nilesh sing. This is also an affinity that you feel, like a sense of belongingness to a group when you join such a community. You'll also get to upskill yourselves. So I have my colleague Mahima who will be talking about certifications. So there are so many things that you can learn about. And of course, like somebody mentioned, they are there for networking opportunities, getting rewarded, recognized in the community, or in fact, enhancing public speaking skills. Like how Abhilasha mentioned, way back in 2020, she joined as an attendee just like you, and look at her today. She's representing a session, she's also doing an MC. So look where she has come today, right? So everybody has found something or the other as part of being in the community. But the next question comes, how do you actually join and be part of a community, and what is it that is there as part of AWS community? So we'll talk about very, very quickly in terms of what is it that we have as part of the community. To get started, we have AWS user groups. So user groups are basically peer-to-peer run groups which meet frequently to share best practices, learn from each other. You get to hear from AWS experts, industry experts, your peers, and so much more. In India, we have over 25 AWS user groups. Worldwide, we have 450 plus user groups. And I'll just give you a minute to scan this QR code, which is a QR code for the nearest user group, which is if you are from Vadodara. So if you scan and be part of this user group, it's a meetup page. If you subscribe to it, you will be notified whenever we have any event or a meetup just like this, so that you can be part of more such events in the future. At AWS, in fact Amazon, we believe in the culture of learning. And we also believe that learning should never stop with just one event. There should be a continuity, and we would love to see you coming back again and again for more such events. Here's some clips from our user group meetups and events. And like I said, we all love good food. So if you are for food, we'll definitely love our meetups. Then we have AWS Community Builder. So let's say if you want to really deep dive into AWS and want to learn more about AWS, there's a program which you can apply for, wherein you get connected to AWS subject matter experts on a regular basis. So you will see this QR code where you can scan. Right now the applications are closed. It will be open in January. But once you apply, you will be notified once the applications are open. So here, when people apply, they're not only learning more about AWS, they also learn more about engaging the community in terms of learning how to be a better public speaker, how to write technical blogs, how to create content through videos, and so much more. So if you are interested for a deep dive, this program is for you. And then we have AWS Heroes, which is one of my favorite programs of all these programs. So we have so many people here which go above and beyond in engaging with the community, be it creating meetups, events just like this, or speaking in industry conferences, or creating blogs, creating videos to make sure that you are learning better and engaging better. And for those people, we reward them with AWS Hero title. So it's our way of saying thank you for doing such an incredible work to engage the community that we want to share this title with you. And what does this title mean? It means you are a subject matter expert in a particular domain. And I'm sure a lot of you would have heard that Amazon is a very customer-obsessed company, right? And what better could be that these customers, AWS Heroes, they are the first ones to get to know about any product or services that are launched in the company from AWS, and their feedback is actually incorporated in those services. And how many people know about AWS reInvent that happens in Vegas every year? Almost, yeah, a few of you know about this, right? So AWS Heroes get to attend reInvent every year from AWS. Then we have cloud clubs. Like I said, there is something for everybody, right? So AWS cloud clubs are basically user groups. However, they are based in a particular college or a university. So again, you can apply for this program and be a cloud captain and engage and create a group in your own college if it's not existing yet. We already have a few college cloud clubs in Ahmedabad and Vadodara. If you are interested, and we have a few cloud captains also here today. Can you raise your hands if I have any cloud captains in the audience? Oh, we have here, right? So if you want to know about how you can engage with a cloud captain in your college, feel free to reach out to these people. And first, I am also there. And I've done a lot of talking. If we are able to play this video, let's learn from one of our community members, and I'm sure most of you will find him familiar. Can we play this video?
Somebody like, say, sir, I know you very well, we have attended your seminar and I got job in TCS or somewhere. Proud moment for me. મારું નામ નિલેશ વાઘેલા છે. હું ઇલેક્ટ્રોમેકનો CEO છું. AWS Community Hero પણ છું. I started my company in 1996 with computer hardware, and today we are cloud computing company. So I am the witness, seeing the transformation of this technology landscape. My face is known as a good community leader in open source. That is my way to do the business, to share the knowledge, to gain the knowledge with communities. So that's why I started AWS community also, and we got good response actually. And as of now, we have 5,000 plus member in AWS Ahmedabad community. The main reason is basically to create a pool resources which can help companies to do the cloud computing business. Community also grow as well as individual can also benefit it. So that is the main motto. I was doing my AWS community works very well, and probably AWS also recognize, they find out like who is doing this kind of activity, and then they have given me that awarded me the AWS community hero. Once I become AWS community, a lot of things has changed actually. Start if you are passionate, if you like it. Whatever you like it, you start working on that, and byproduct, lot of things will come. Keep it very simple and very straightforward. So that is what I believe. Once you start community, you have to be there. The main question is basically the balancing. So two things, one is passion basically, second is support from the home actually. So most of the commercial part, either in business or community, is taken care by my wife. Home is also one of the most important part for me. They never discourage me, they always encourage me. I advise like those who wanted to join a community or they don't find any community near to them. So first thing is whatever the near community they have to start, and nowadays communities generally do their workshop or events in hybrid mode, so remotely you can attend. Observe few times, and then if the community not exists in your area, probably good time to start, and we help them to start new communities through that. So first observe and then take initiative. That is what I believe they should do it.
I'm so proud to see Nilesh as one of the AWS heroes in Gujarat, and I can proudly say now we have such amazing community members in the Gujarat community. We'll see more AWS heroes from Gujarat. And with that, are you ready to join the AWS community? Yeah? Sorry, I can't hear. Are you ready? Awesome. And before I go, I just want to reiterate one thing. Like I said, it's really ingrained in our Amazon culture of being learn and be curious. And we totally believe that for our personal and professional lives both. If you really want to grow and go further, never ever stop learning. Right? So take community as one of the channels for learning and your growth, and you'll go really far. And with that, thank you so much. I would love to stay connected with you. I'm here throughout the day. If you have any questions, yeah, I understood it's my time to go. And just one last thing. I just want to give a huge shout out to the entire team of Vadodara user group for putting together this incredible event. I've seen them having sleepless nights, arranging everything. So a huge shout out to Nirmal, Adit, Dimple, Nilesh, and the entire Vadodara user group team. They have put together a stellar agenda for you to learn and enjoy the whole day. So if you really like the event, please do share your feedback. And thank you so much.
Thank you, Ridhima. Please stay on the stage. What a wonderful start. I would like to invite Manan sir on the stage to felicitate Ridhima.
Thank you, Ridhima, for coming here, Vadodara, for the first time. That was amazing session, and we love community, and the session which Ridhima spoke about was lot about community. So please join us. So next, Abhilasha Madam, who is the next speaker?
Yeah, Nirmal sir, the next speaker is a perfect opportunity to gain insights from someone who plays a crucial role in shaping AWS solutions. With over 25 years of expertise and certifications from AWS, Microsoft, Google and IBM and so many, Dr. Bishwajit Mohapatra is a leading thought leader in multi-cloud transformation. Having advised Fortune 500 clients and driven global cloud migration strategies, they specialize in delivering innovative solutions across industries like banking, telecom, healthcare. And please join us in welcoming Dr. Bishwajit Mohapatra, Head of Customer Solutions at AWS. And I would like to invite him to take the stage to share your experience and vision for the future of cloud technology. Please, sir. We are very fortunate to have you here, sir. Thank you so much for coming.
Hello. Perfect.
Slides, please.
Okay, perfect. Good. Thank you guys, and Abhilasha, thank you for the nice introduction, and of course, huge round of thanks to Nilesh and the entire team to giving me an opportunity to be with all of you here today. I'm going to do a little unconventional topic today. Of course, throughout the day, you guys are going to get to hear a lot of technology topic, but prior to that, I am going to talk about something which is to do with culture at Amazon. How many of you really know what Amazon culture is and how does Amazon innovate? Can you raise your hand? Okay, only Amazon guys are raising hand. So that means the topic makes sense, right? So as we work with our customers, most often our customers ask us, how does Amazon innovate? Today I am very happy to share with all of you what is Amazon's culture of innovation and how exactly we do it. As you all know, the world is really becoming more intelligent, more interconnected and more instrumented today. That is giving all of us an opportunity to think differently, act differently and transform differently. There is evolution of new business paradigm. All of us are part of that. And this evolution is happening across three distinct dimensions. The first dimension is all about new business model. Every organization, and those of you who are working professionals here, you all know that every organization is today trying to reimagine the business process, reinvent the industry. The second dimension is all about new age of doing things. What does that mean? It's all about being focused on actionable insights, being focused on responsive operations. And the third dimension, I think Ridhima and of course Abhilasha also talked about that, which is around new expertise, building that restless talent. And I am very confident all of you here investing your Saturday morning and the entire day today to get that knowledge and do a lot of learn and relearn in the process. So new expertise is very important. And the last parameter is all about orchestrated ecosystem. There is nothing called competition today. One of my mentor, who is ex-CEO of IBM, Ginny Rometty, used to say, if your customer wants it, probably you need to partner with your competition to deliver the outstanding value to your customer. So there is nothing competition now. It's all about competition, a new word, right? Probably we'll get into the dictionary soon. Competition is all about, any guess? competition and cooperation together. So that's the way the whole world is moving today. And when this evolution is happening, cloud is actually at the center of all of this evolution. The foundation service is all around cloud. That's why cloud is very, very important for us. However, the role of cloud is also continuously changing. If you little go back around 2022, as per a Gartner study, cloud was more looked at as a technology disruptor, or it was looked at as a capability enabler. Fast forward 2027, cloud is going to be more acting as a innovation facilitator, or I talked about new business paradigm. It will be more a business disruptor going forward. And as we move from 2020 to 2027 and beyond, culture is going to play a very, very critical role in this transition. Organization culture is going to impact the ability of change. That's what we strongly believe at Amazon. So that's why today's session on culture of innovation is extremely, extremely critical for all of us as professionals. With that background, let me talk quickly about what is Amazon's mission. Amazon's mission is to become Earth's most customer-centric company. Let me tell it again, to become Earth's most customer-centric company. Our mission statement is purposefully very, very broad. It's not limited to a particular market segment or not limited to a domain. We are not focused on only selling books or e-commerce or technology. We are not focused on serving a particular type of customer, as you all know. Our customers are worldwide. That includes all of us, right? All of you, I'm sure, are Amazon customers, right? Our customers are worldwide. That includes millions of content curators, millions of sellers, millions of consumers, millions of developers, enterprises, and so on. And they are of varied sizes, starting from startups to small medium enterprises to large enterprises across different vertical segments, both in public sector as well as private sector. So what do you think? The needs and opportunities of this diverse set of customers are going to be same or different? Some answers, guys. The needs and opportunities for these customers are going to be same or different? So then how does Amazon manage it? Our desire to invent solutions on all of these diverse set of customers we have helps us to become very, very successful today in the industry. Though our mission is purposefully broad, we are also very, very specific. And the specificity is all about staying laser focused on customers. And that's what helps us in making decisions. If there is a decision to be made between two things, let's say launching a new service versus modifying an existing service, then the tie-breaking question is all about the decision that you are taking. Is it highly customer obsessed? Is it going to make your customer happy? That's the way Amazon works and Amazon culture works. I'm going to tell you a very small story so that you can relate to, which I have gone through in the past. This is about you guys like stories, right? Okay, so this is about a dad who was very, very interested to order a Barbie doll for his daughter on his daughter's birthday. And this person was living in Washington, DC. Real story. He ordered the Barbie doll through Amazon.com. The doll got delivered. But unfortunately, one of the hand of the doll was broken in the delivery process. If you are that customer, how is going to be your reaction? Are you going to like it or not like it? Of course, you will make the next call to the call center executive, right? Telling that, guys, I wanted something. I wanted this doll to be delivered to my daughter, and my daughter should have got a signature experience. Now you are getting a broken doll delivered to me. Then the call center executive, what they did, they looked around every outlet in Washington, DC to find a similar doll, but they could not find it. So the natural reaction is what next? Sorry, the doll is broken and we can't deliver it and we'll refund it to you. That's what is natural answer, right? And that's what the customer center executive told the father. But he was very unhappy. He said, no, I didn't want money. I wanted to give that experience to my daughter. Money is not important for me at this point of time. Then the customer center executive looked around and figured out that there is a similar doll available in a city called London, which is 200 miles away from Washington DC. But to add to the problem, even if the doll is traced, the last truck, last delivery vehicle which was carrying the goods from London to Washington DC has already left. The customer center executive take a call and one single Barbie doll was carried from London in a truck to Washington DC to deliver to the customer. What this story says, every employee at Amazon is empowered to take their decisions when it comes to customer, right? Did Amazon make loss in this transaction? Any answers, guys? Did Amazon make financial loss in this transaction? No, yes. Yeah? Yeah, long-term gain, right? That's what exactly. So, though it looks like a short-term gain, look at the entire journey of the customer. Do you think the experience this customer got, is he going to go away from Amazon any point of time throughout his life? No, right? So we make short-term investments thinking about our customers and the relationship in a long-term standpoint. That's the customer obsession that Amazon practices. Same thing, many of you must be hearing, but I'll reiterate it again. Today, in our boardroom, if there is a meeting happening, the center chair is always kept open, kept empty. Any guess why is that? Customer. The center chair is for customer. No matter what discussion you do within your organization, end of the day, when you are closing the meeting, are you taking the decision that going to make that person sitting on the center chair happy? If answer is yes, then decision is made. That's the customer centricity that Amazon culture demonstrates. We start diving deep to understand our customers' needs. What our customer says, what our customer wants, what our customer feels, and what our customer says. Working backward from our customers' needs helps us to invent solutions that delight and surprise our customers. There are many ways to center your business around. Some of the organizations may be centering their business around competition. Some of the organizations may be centering their business around technology innovation, right? But here at Amazon, we center our business around obsessive customer focus. And that is what works for us. And that is what Jeff Bezos talked about in our 2016 shareholder letter. What he said? There are many advantages to a customer-centric approach, but here is a big one. You guys will agree with me this, right? Customers are beautifully, wonderfully dissatisfied all the time. You guys agree to this? Yes. Even if they say they are happy, even if they say business is really doing good for them, even if they don't know it yet, still customers always want something better. And your desire to drive that delightful outcomes for your customers will help you to drive the solution on your customers' behalf. Amazon is into multiple businesses, as you all know. We started with e-commerce, selling books, DVDs, games, apparels, industrial products, automotives, whatnot basically, right? One stream of business. Other stream is about AWS. Many of you here are probably practicing AWS. 200 plus services starting from compute to storage to AML to quantum to blockchain, all there, right? We are also into hardware business, whether it is Kindle, Alexa, Echo or smart home systems, streaming content, Prime videos, Amazon Fresh or Amazon Go, right? Multiple businesses. So many of you may be having this question. Why does Amazon needs to get into so many business streams? Very diverse, very different, no? Do you guys have this question? And how does Amazon manage it? Next question is, if the business is so diverse, how does really Amazon manage it? Correct? The only answer that ties to everything is that customer at the center, and you invent solutions to make your customers happy basically, right? So how does we do that? Let's look at Amazon.com as an example. We focus on not only short-term value for the customer, we focus on long-term value that we can deliver to the customer. What is that long-term value? What are those durable needs of your customer? Let's look at Amazon.com. The durable needs for Amazon.com customer, and many of you are, probably all of you are, right? First thing is price. Do you think any point of time, any customer should come back and say that, I wish price could have been little more? 5 years down the line, any customer will come and say that, I wish price could have been little more? No. I wish I could have little less selection, little less choice to select the product, long term? No. Same thing, convenience. Convenience could have been little more. No, right? So that's basically durable need. That need is existing today, and that need is going to exist after 10 years, right? If you are focusing on the durable needs of your customer and creating self-fulfilling, closed loop, sustainable flywheel, then your business is going to be very, very successful, no matter what business you are in, right? If you look at the right side of the chart on the slide, you focus on the customer experience. If you are focusing better customer experience, I'm sure all of you will agree that you will attract more traffic, right? If you are attracting more traffic, will you attract more sellers to your site? If you have more sellers, is your selection going to go up? Choices for customer? If more choices, your business will scale more. If your business scales more, will you lower the cost structure? Will it lower the cost structure? With the scale, cost structure goes down. Lower the price, and the lower price benefit goes to whom? Customer. Customer get better experience. That's the way the flywheel works. That's how the closed loop flywheel works for your business, right? Same thing, if you talk about AWS, do you think any point of time any AWS customer will come back and say that after 5 years, I wish AWS would have been less secure? No. Durable need. And if you are building your business over those durable needs, you are going to be very, very, very successful. I talked about Amazon's customer-centric approach. Now let's little focus on, to meet that customer-centric approach, how does Amazon really organize for innovation? Our approach is across 4 dimensions. The first dimension is culture, second is mechanism, third is architecture, and fourth is organization. Let me touch upon each one of those. Culture. We at Amazon hire people to be part of the organization and support them with a belief system. That's what we do. And that belief system is based on the 16 leadership principles that we see on the slide, right? Everyone at Amazon are accountable to each other, to themselves, to demonstrate these leadership principles. This is what we do to do business with our customers. This is what we do to lead our people basically, right? So those leadership principles are very, very critical. Probably since we'll fall short of time, I'll not go into all of those 16 leadership principles. But since we are talking about innovation, let's look at one of the leadership principles, which is invent and simplify. And when I'm talking about invent and simplify, I'm not talking about large disruptive innovations that can help business grow. It could be a small thing, small utility that can be built, that can accelerate reusability to drive productivity over a long period of time. And while doing that, at times you may remain misunderstood, but it's okay. Focus on the last outcome, right? Let me talk about a little misunderstood example. Kindle. How many of you use Kindle? Quite a few, right? When Kindle came up, including Wall Street, everybody told Jeff Bezos, it's almost like killing your own business. You are so successful in selling books. Why do you even need to come up with Kindle, a device which will kill your own business? But the focus was durable need of customer. Like I told earlier, what are the durable need? How can I have the entire library in my pocket? The focus was not to build a slickest Kindle device that looks good and rich with various features. The focus was, how do I give customers that reading experience using a device, and how can they carry all the books in their pocket? Of course, Kindle went through multiple versions, and the Kindle that you use today is probably more slicker, waterproof, whatnot basically, right? That's the way we basically invent things. Now let's come to the second parameter, which is mechanism. Mechanism is actually a complete process that enables some thinking. What do we do at Amazon? We build tools, we increase adoption, and then we inspect and iterate to make it perfect all the time. Many of you may have heard of the concept called Anden code. Any of you heard of Anden code? It's kind of used on the Toyota's assembly line. On the manufacturing line, if something goes wrong, immediately the code is pulled so that the manufacturing is stopped. Same thing we do as part of our Amazon.com delivery process. If a product is defective, the product is pulled out from the site without being available for multiple customers to purchase, right? So those are the mechanisms that's practiced within Amazon. And one such mechanism is, I talked about working backward, one such mechanism is called PRFAQ process. What is PRFAQ? You know, many companies, probably they build products, most of the companies probably, right? They build products and throw the product to the marketing team, they go and sell it. Does that happen this way or not? We don't do that at Amazon. 90% of our, if I talk about AWS, 90% of our services, out of the 200 plus services that AWS has, are built on customer needs, what customer wants. And 10% is all about reading between the lines. Customers wanted probably low cost, easily manageable infrastructure. We came up with serverless Lambda, right? That's what we call as reading between the lines. The focus is start with a press release. Even before building the product, you envision, you visualize how a product is really going to look like, right? That's your press release. From press release, you come to FAQs, maybe internal FAQs for the organization, external FAQs for your customer, and then you go and create visuals and start building the products. So you visualize the end and work backward from there to build those delightful experience for your customers. That's the mechanism we follow at Amazon. The third thing is about architecture. Of course, technology is important, right? And Amazon.com is basically the biggest example of that when it comes to architecture. The way you see Amazon.com today was not like that several years back. It was a huge, huge monolith. And it was the choking point for the business as well, basically. As time advanced, and if you look at the newer Amazon.com today, it's made up of 100,000 plus microservices, leverages all 200 plus AWS services, and completely decentralized and decoupled architecture today. That's the evolution basically. It's not a revolution. Our approach is always to evolve and revolutionize the solutions basically, right? Any case, today, with all this microservices based architecture, Amazon.com, what could be the deployment time duration between two deployments in Amazon.com today? Anyone who can guess this? Some wild guess. Time duration between two deployments today in Amazon.com. 30 seconds. Seconds. 0.6 second. Can you guys imagine? A deployment duration between two deployments is 0.6 second. That's the level of architecture that we practice today. And of course, I think the session will be incomplete if I don't talk about GenAI and AML, right? Today, 100,000 plus customers uses Amazon's AWS's AI/ML services. Coming to the GenAI stack, 3 layers, and probably as we move on the day, you will hear much about each of these layers today. We start with infrastructure for foundation models training. Infrastructure is important for GenAI or not? Two things, two types of workloads. One is training the models, other one is creating the inference out of the large volume of data. When we are processing large volume of data, you need higher processing power. How do we do that? I think Ridhima talked about reInvent. This is what we announced in reInvent last year. Of course, there are some new announcements coming this December in reInvent, which I will not be able to share today. But this was the partnership between AWS and NVIDIA. That's not last year. It has been first of a kind all throughout the journey. Starting from cluster GPU1 to the most updated, most advanced P5E processors, which is Tensor Core CPUs and GPUs, right? And with 65 exaflops basically, right? That's the journey that we have taken to increase the processing power. And we have not limited ourselves there. Again, we have gone into the silicon level with Trinium and other things that we'll hear in the latter in the day today. We have kind of tried to address the entire processing capability and infrastructure requirements for GenAI. Again, coming to the second layer, which is all about foundation models, availability, partnership with multiple companies, whether it is AI21 Labs, Anthropic, Meta, Mistral, so on and so forth, and our own models, which are also Titan models. And the third layer is all about tools. Development, right? Gone those days where you can start doing development utilizing multiple developers to develop software code, right? It's all about automation now. And if you guys following the object management group and the model-driven architecture is all about create your own model and generate running and deployable code out of those models. You don't need any syntax, like as long as you know the syntax, from the same model, you can create Java, you can create .NET, you can create any other code out of that model, which is running and deployable as per the complete architectural standards. Focus on that. And that's one step that Amazon Q is trying to drive today. And as you see here, 1,000 applications, which takes 10 minutes each, and 2 days, you can move 1,000 applications from Java 8 to Java 17. That's the process of automation, that's the power of automation, productivity and quality that we are trying to achieve as we go forward from here, leveraging GenAI. The fourth parameter, we talked about culture, we talked about mechanism, we talked about architecture. Let's look at the fourth parameter, which is organization. Organization is the way Amazon operates. It's basically self-motivated, self-empowered teams who are encouraged to do experiments. And we work in a model, what we call as a two-pizza team, right? So a team size should not be more than number of people who could be fed by 2 pizzas, basically, right? That's the model. And failure is absolutely acceptable and failure is absolutely accepted. We believe failure and inventions are inseparable twins. You need to take care. If you are inventing, there are chances to failure. But if you are failing, then fail 2 steps ahead so that next time you are stand up, you have learned and you are running fast. How many of you play cricket here? You guys watch IPL? You want to hit 6. How easy it is to hit 6 in a straight bat? Or you need to swing your bat to hit 6. Swing your bat, right? And if you are swinging your bat, are you taking more risk? That's what exactly, right? So it's same thing. So if you want to invent, you want to hit 6, you have to take more risks. Of course, something will fail and something will work, and whatever works, that will probably cover whatever has failed. And it's not that Amazon has never failed in the story, right? How many of you heard of Fire Phone? It's a big failure for Amazon if you guys know it, right? Because it was ahead of time. But the learning that we got from Fire Phone helps us to build Alexa, helps us to build eco devices today, which is very successful in the industry, successful in the market, right? So that's what. So learn from your failures, and failures and inventions are inseparable twins. Do not get afraid about the failures. With that, we talked about all the 4 parameters that Amazon uses for innovation: culture, mechanism, architecture, and organization, right? We had 3 big ideas at Amazon that we have stocked for last 20 years. And they are the reason for which Amazon is very, very successful. What are those 3 ideas? Number 1, we talked about customer obsession. Put the customer first. Customer is ahead of anything and everything that you do. That's the first priority for you. Second thing, invent. Even if you are misunderstood for a long period of time, it's okay. Focus on doing those inventions. And number 3, be patient. Everything needs its own time, and your time will come. With that, probably I'll conclude my session with my last slide. How do you feel when you guys look this slide? Okay, what comes to your mind when you see this slide? Enjoying, right? So this was actually not my slide. This image is actually from one of my customers who is CIO of AXA, and his name is Peter Nautilus. He used it 5 years back in AWS New York Summit. I have borrowed this slide from him. So when Aksa wanted to embrace cloud, Aksa was feeling like a toddler that you see on the screen, right? Not knowing what needs to be done. And the float, I think Ridhima, we are talking near the swimming pool about the swimming rings, right? And the floaty swimming ring that you see there, any guess who is that? What is that? That's nothing but AWS. AWS is there to provide you all the support that you need to learn the cloud and be successful on your journey. We do a lot of analysis, I call it analysis paralysis, a lot of whiteboarding to take a decision. But the best way to learn is actually to jump. Jump and experience it, experiment it and learn from there, right? And after all, learning cloud is fun and you see the smile on the toddler's face. So I strongly welcome all of you guys, participate in the communities, start learning, do a lot of learn, relearn all the time and have unreasonable aspirations that has nothing to do with the reality to become successful in your career and in your journey. Wish you all the very best and thank you guys.
Thank you, sir. Please be on the stage. Thank you so much for your wonderful keynote. I'm sure apna time aayega with your learnings and lessons we learned today. Definitely everybody is going to envision and grow up in the career. I would like to invite Dimple ma'am to felicitate sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
So thank you so much, sir, Mohapatra sir. We learned lot new things here, and again, thanks for mentioning join the community. That's what we want, maximum participation. And again, so next is Ashish bhai. Okay, so our next speaker is Mr. Ashish Patel. Madam, please can you?
Yeah, please. Just wanted to check first how many developers we have in this session today. Oh, amazing, so many. So up next, we have a session for you all that's perfect for the developers we have today with us. So currently an enterprise solution architect at AWS India, Ashish Patel brings 24 years of experience in designing large-scale IT solutions across industries like retail, BFSI, and FMCG. He specializes in building cloud-optimized architectures, driving agile and DevOps transformations, and architecting end-to-end solutions for complex business challenges. With expertise in SAP, APIs, and distributed systems, Ashish has successfully mentored and led large development teams while managing both on-premise and AWS cloud environment. So Ashish Patel, Enterprise Solution Architect at AWS, will take us through mastering full stack development with AWS Amplify Zen 2. I hope you all guys are ready for a code first revolution. I hope you all are ready. Yes. I'm too. Yeah, please over to you now. Thank you.
Hello. Am I audible? Okay. Thank you very much, Kencho. So my name is, thanks very much for very generous introduction. I've been to AWS for close to like 5+ years now. Started as a developer from VB script or VB screens. There's you don't more see that. Those are thick clients. Been in delivery and development for more than 20 years, and now last 5 years I'm helping customers embarking on cloud and also innovate along with Amazon. So this is where the current situation is for most of the developers, right? It started with a key client when I started, right? And then Java applet came. Then there was something added which was like a client side and a server side. Things were very simple. I still have that JavaScript book which was like this much thick. And today, if I just call JavaScript and I get like minimum 100 frameworks to learn. And then adding to the complexity is the mobile, then a tablet, and then a testing. From the day one itself, the developer and the tester have a very good relationships. Everybody knows that, right? And with the tablets and the mobile, it became more cohesive, right? So this is the session where today, like full stack application development takes to multiple stages. And again, when you start developing a product, you start with at times on the back end and then move to the front end. But now there were a thin line, thick line, thin line, and now it's all full stack development. That's a need of an hour because customers are more demanding and customer wants things very fast, right? And this is where we will be focusing our session today. Starting with, let's take up what does it take to building a full stack application. So you build a front end, you build a back end, you deploy to the development environment. And when I say development environment, in the past year it was just a laptop, right? Everything was there. But today, because like AWS, things are there on the cloud as well. How are you going to do a local testing? Right? That's one of the biggest pain area. And you also have a local server, which is a web server, right? Where you run your JavaScript related frameworks and testing, right? And both has to work in tandem. So that's like deploy to the development as the new stage added. Then obviously the browser and the mobile testing, deploy to the production, right? This is where the additional things which has got added and made the developer's life easier, okay? So what is that we will be focusing on is the service called as an AWS Amplify. Can you please raise your hand? How many of you know what is AWS Amplify? Very good. So the session is focused on introducing AWS Amplify. So those who don't know, they would get to know on this particular session. And we would also be focusing on those who know already the AWS Amplify. Then like the Amplify started as a very small MVP with Gen 1, right? A sort of a CLI based tool and only console based tool, and now we have launched a Gen 2 which is completely different experience, and we just got GA in I think May 2024. So what are the supported mobile and web frameworks? So if you see on the JavaScript side, most of the leading frameworks are supported, and we are adding. As and when the framework gets more popularity, the Amplify adds supported. So Amplify has a client libraries. So this is just to, and we'll see a little bit more details in that, and also on the mobile, native mobile, and as well as the cross-platform one. What are some of the use cases on Amplify which you should like directly start using it? One of them is server-side rendering, SSR, which is becoming more and more popular with your SEO and other things. Single-page web applications and the static websites. Obviously native mobiles and the cross-platform mobile apps. Okay, now building a web and mobile apps, right? So what are the comprehensive set of AWS services which we are using in the backend? So we'll just dig that a little bit in the backend side, so that as a developer, as a nerd, right, you know like what runs in the backend, and also it should be able to orchestrate it very nicely. So if you see the databases, as you know, NoSQL or a RDBMS, NoSQL, serverless, DynamoDB, you already know, and we also have a support for RDS. All the major open source and the proprietary databases managed available on AWS. API, which is more of a GraphQL with AppSync, which also gives the functions and also the real-time nature of your mobile apps and the web apps. All the AI/ML services, they are all like API-based access. You don't have to learn data science and all. You can just plug and play those APIs and start using in your mobile and web applications. Obviously the authentication. How many of you know AWS Cognito? Good. Those who don't know, AWS Cognito is a completely managed authentication service where you can use that as your own user database, role-based access and authorization, or you can use a federated access with, let's say, Amazon, Facebook, all kind of a GitHub login also. You can manage through a single service which is called as Cognito, so that you don't have to learn all the different kind of SDKs and APIs. Storage and all the other custom services, which we will see in the next couple of slides. So once you deploy the Amplify application, this is your like example architecture which will get deployed, right? How many of you know all the services which is listed over here? Don't worry, I mean, even if it seems overwhelming, once you start using it, you will get to know each of those services. As I said, like if you see in the first part, which is an Amplify backend, which is having the services like Cognito, which is which I mentioned about the authentication authorization, and other services like Lambda, which is our serverless compute, where you can create your APIs, function as a service. And on the Amplify hosting, so the client side or a hosting also is completely taken care by the Amplify, where we deploy your static content or the static website hosting on S3 and the CloudFront backend. So how many of you know CloudFront? Very good. So CloudFront is our, it's a client-side caching in a very native term, and S3 is our object storage service. Those who don't know. If you move this is how the Amplify works. And once you start using as a developer, the Amplify hosting comes the first. The Amplify front end, right, which takes care of three pillars. One is the UI libraries or UI components. Then the Amplify libraries, which makes sure like you don't have to learn each and every framework, right, and it does a lot of heavy lifting for you automatically. And then the next one is the Figma to Pool. So there is a built-in feature. We will see a short demo as well for that. And the backend, which is one of the key thing, right? Because today every application where you are building, the cloud comes into the picture, right? And this is where Amplify also makes sure like it takes all the heavy lifting for you to integrate application front end and as well as application backend. If you see there are Gen 1 and Gen 2 written, right? So this is where the Amplify, when initially launched a few years back, it has visual app building and only CLI app building features. That was also awesome. And if you are using Amazon Music, how many of you are using it? That started, it's built on Amplify, right? Even the Gen 1 part of it, and now it's been ported to Gen 2. So Gen 2 has just released in May, and this is where the code first application building experience, and we will be diving deep on that particular experience now. So some of the features are like what we learned from our customers, as Mr. Bishwajit told in the earlier session, right? So a lot of customers gave us a feedback saying that when they start building the backend and the front end, the technology, right, for the full stack developer, a lot of learning curve was there. And so what we started doing is we added the Amplify backend also through TypeScript, so that you don't have to learn anything new. So we are already doing a lot of front-end development with TypeScript, and now you can do the same thing with TypeScript at the backend and as well as the CDK. So how many of you know CDK? Okay, those who don't know, don't worry. So there is in the cloud side, there is something called as an infrastructure as a code, right? So you write code and the infrastructure gets built. So let's say if you are spinning up a server, you just write a couple of JSON or YAML lines in CloudFormation template or a Terraform if you know, and then automatically that server gets spin up. The CDK is actually more native to your programming language. So let's say for example if you are using Python or if you are using Java, right, or a .NET, C#. Previously all the developers used to learn CloudFormation or a Terraform to use that infrastructure as a code. No more now. The CDK is the next generation where in your like programming languages, you can do infrastructure as a code, and you write just a couple of lines of code, and the infrastructure gets spin up. And this is where it's completely natively integrated with the Amplify backend with TypeScript support. This is where I said develop faster. So if you see the backend code and the front end code, both are written in the TypeScript. Let's start with the front end, right? So you create a data model. So if you see the at the left hand side, there is some code written in TypeScript with some data model, right? And with a single command, you get the forms automatically generated for you. And we also support Figma to React. So there is a native Amplify React library which is available. If you go to the Figma and you would have to move out of the Figma, there itself you should be able to convert that into the React. Let's come to the backend part now. So with a single command called npm create amplify at latest, the backend scaffolding code gets generated for you. And those who may have used Amplify Gen 1, it's the same directory structure. So let's little bit look at the backend so that you get just a little bit familiar with it. So if you see the authentication and the data, which is a very critical part of the backend, right? And the resource.typescript file actually gets the complete configuration part of that authentication, what comes for the authentication, and what comes for the data. But because of the limited time, I won't go to each and every code. But at the end of the session, I'm going to give you some of the references and a couple of good videos where you'll be able to get more confident about playing around with this Amplify backend. And if you see this, when you work with the backend and the front end with the TypeScript, see how easy it is to shuffle between front end and back end with the same programming language, which is a TypeScript, and also completely integrated experience of Cloud Development Kit, which is CDK, which is infrastructure as a code. And now if we just attach the thread from where we started, right, where the heavy lifting of the multiple client-side JavaScript frameworks to now the backend with completely new services which are coming from cloud era. Today we have AI, ML, GenAI, right? Where it's completely taken care with CDK integrated with the TypeScript experience on the Amplify backend. This is where also you should be able to integrate a lot of other AWS services like say SNS and SQS, which is mentioned as the import statement, which is, what is SNS? Notification service. SQS is a queue service, messaging service, right? So likewise other services you should be able to add it just like a normal application integration group. You don't have to learn the individual SDK and import libraries. One of the biggest problem, right, which is the current full stack development, and this is one of the major release as part of the Amplify Gen 2. What was that is, when I develop a front end and a back end, the problem is how do I integrate end to end? There is only one server there and there are 10 or 100 developers there, each calling that same cloud backend, and we are not able to test in an isolation. So sometimes the application code works for me but doesn't work when it pushed to the production or on a testing website. So with Amplify Gen 2, this experience is natively given. This is one of the biggest release part of the Gen 2. How does it happen? You just write that backend code and the separate sandbox environments gets created for you from the CDK or the backend scripts which you have written. You don't have to do anything else. Just enter and it is created. And we'll see that in one of the short demo as well. And there is a local development environment for your front end, right? So that is a local host where your client side testing will have. That is natively integrated with the backend, which is the sandbox environment. And both the things you manage from a single service called Amplify. So how does the iteration happen, right? Previously, what used to happen is, you write some code at the front end or some modify in the backend code, then you have to do some couple of deployments on the development environments, right? Make sure that works, and then you start come back on the front end and start integrating. But now, just add a database table or updating a field. It's just like editing those resource files. That's it. And the console or the client, the listening server automatically picks up the code and deploys for you, even on the front end and even on the back end. So the same experience you were getting previously with the front end, where whatever you change, you used to get it in the front end, right? But the same experience now, which we are also giving as part of the Amplify backend. So this is wonderful experience. If you have not tried it, I must recommend try Amplify, the Gen 2 part of it. We still support Gen 1 and Gen 2 both, but would recommend using Gen 2. The next thing which was very important for the larger teams or even the smaller teams was like ship with the confidence, right? It shouldn't happen like the code works in my laptop or code works in the testing environment, but it has to work across, right? How we have dealt with the front end, integrated libraries, taking all the overhead for you for the multiple JavaScript frameworks. On the backend part, we have taken all the overhead with CDK and you are writing again in the TypeScript. Plus, integrated with the Git experience. Let's say for example, if you have created a dev branch and if you have created a UAT branch and a production branch. Each branch, whenever you push, it automatically deploys to a separate environment. Automatically. You don't have to do any DevOps. Right? And that gives you more confidence while you ship your code continuously. Right? The more iteration you do before your shipment, either to a development branch or an UAT branch, you get more confidence when you ship it to the production branch as well. Just pause it when I say, okay. So this is the unified console, a short demo which I prepared. Before I play this demo, we saw like there is an authentication with Amazon Cognito. There is a data which we are pushing with, let's say, DynamoDB. There are testing which I have to do with API testing on backend and front end. There is a hosting app which is being given right at a front end. Previously, I mean, though the Gen 1 had already used a lot of console experience, but lately we have done in Gen 2 is completely unified console, so that you don't have to leave the Amplify console to in the individual services console. And let's see that demo. So this is an app which is a demo app, which is a retail store, which is deployed. And if you see here, can you pause after it loads? Oh, sorry. Can you play that? Okay. So okay, no problem. Let it run. Okay, just pause it. Okay, so this is the retail store where typical e-commerce store which is giving the product and the categories. So the data model for this demo app is the categories and the products, right? Can you play now? So there is a authentication, right? This authentication experience is completely built in for you. So you just have to write those couple of lines and everything is up and running. Can you pause? Thank you. So if you see here, there are two branches which has been deployed. One is the main branch and the development branch, right? And here you can manage individual deployment, right? Can you please? So before I'm going to the branch, if you see the hosting part, so if you see all the options, even you can monitor how your application or a website is performing here. What kind of errors and other things which you are getting. It's a single console. You don't have to leave the Amplify console for this. Now if you see the deployments, there are two deployments for this particular application. Can you please pause it? Okay, so if you see there are two deployments. This is like two git push which you have done for the respective branch. If that is a development branch, you get a development engaged experience. If it's a production branch, you get the production one. Can you please play? If you see the deployed backend resources, so this is the infrastructure as a code. The CDK has deployed all these resources for you. You don't have to worry about it, don't have to learn all those nitty-gritty about the integrations, right? This is the data. So underneath there's a DynamoDB table. You don't have to go to the DynamoDB console. Within the same console, you can do the filter and you can get the data up and running. I mean, doing for you, just for a troubleshooting or checking. So that's a small demo, just to give you confidence that if you're not using Amplify, start adopting it. It's the Gen 2 specifically is a wonderful experience, end-to-end experience, reduces a lot of the effort for you in terms of end-to-end full stack development. And if you see the takeaways, the building and hosting the front end, building and deploying the backend, deploying to the development environments. Each and every development environments get the separate sandbox environments, and deploying to the production. This is the complete experience given from the Amplify Gen 2. And this is where one of the favorite actor now can code with single hand. Thank you very much for your time. If you want to take the screenshot, these are the resources, the video and the documents. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out me on the social media. Thank you.
Thank you, Ashish. Please be on the stage. I hope that you all have taken your notes and you are excited to start your quick journey with Amplify and other services which he mentioned. I would like to invite Ravi sir on the stage to felicitate Ashish.
Thank you, Ashish bhai. So Ashish bhai always helps us. He lives in Ahmedabad, but he always helps the Vadodara community as well. He usually speaks at most of our events. Last we requested him to speak, but he refused because he wanted to do something innovative. He had the Prayogshala booth last year at the same venue, which was really interesting. Thank you for that, Ashish bhai. So, okay, so next session is from Mahima madam, and it's about certification. So, how many of you are AWS certified? 5%, I would say. So, yeah, Abhilasha madam, can you please introduce Mahima?
Yeah, sure. I would love to, because AWS certifications are a fantastic way to validate our skills, and I think it opens a new opportunities as well. And it's a very well structured way of learning the services, and then we can go and move ahead in the domain. So with 19 years of experience solving complex engineering and domain challenges, Mahima currently serves as a senior technical consultant at AWS, managing key FSI customers in India. She specializes in crafting solutions that drive customer engagement and business growth, and is a seasoned speaker advocating for emerging technologies. In her role, she collaborates with C-level executives to align business needs with technical strategies, making a strong impact across industries like e-commerce, banking and insurance. So whether you are just started or advanced in your cloud career, you should also add certifications in your learning journey as well. So let's hear from Mahima about empowering your career with AWS certifications. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the wonderful introduction. I hope I'm able to fill in those shoes. Hi everyone, good morning. How are you all today? How's the Josh? How's the Josh? Okay, so there's one activity we usually do whenever we have sessions at Amazon. It's a very Amazonian thing, but I would like all of you to do that with me today. I would like all of you to stand up. Can you all please stand up today? Okay. Turn to your left and give a high five to the person on your left. Turn to your left, give a high five to the person on your left. Alright. Now turn to right and give a high five to the person on your right side. Okay. Thank you so much all of you. Please, you can sit down now. So now I have all of yours attention, right? People who are looking at their mobiles, taking few photos, chatting on the WhatsApp. I hope all of you are having the full attention. I'm having full attention now. Okay, so my topic today is about certifications. Before starting the certification topic, I would like to share one very small story which is very personal to me and my experience. So just like all of you, I started my journey as a fresher, working at TCS. After completing almost 2 years at TCS, I started looking for jobs outside. I was basically a Java developer at that time, and I was looking for jobs, giving various job interviews. During those days, if you have to give an interview, you mostly had to clear a written examination for Java. Although I was working on Java as a developer, I was not able to clear most of those written exams, and I was not sure why. Because in coding I was good, but I was not able to answer those objective questions most of the time. And approximately 11 to 12, written exams I failed. Then I appeared for that Sun Certified Java Programmer certification, and believe me, there was not a single exam that I was not able to clear. That gave me a path where I gained the confidence that just because of one certification, I was able to answer most of the questions that were coming as part of my exams, okay? And I was able to switch to Deloitte after that, and then my career began. So, with that small story, you can understand how important certifications are. You might think that you have a knowledge about a particular topic, you are working day in, day out on a particular topic or a subject, but when actually you give a certification, that time you understand the nitty-gritties, the small points, and various things you might have missed because you are not particularly using that feature of a service. Okay, so with that, let's begin. Sorry, this is not working. So before, I think I'm really bad at this. This is not working for me.
I can manage for you.
Yeah. Okay, so before beginning, a little background about myself. I'm based out of Mumbai, but I'm actually from a very small, not very small town, but the capital city of Madhya Pradesh, Bhopal. So when I came to Vadodara for the first time, I was able to relate. I was getting those small town vibes and the roads and the greenery and everything. I was loving the city and the food and everything about it. I am very passionate about traveling, just like all of you. So you can see my picture over here. We traveled to Kashmir with my family at that time. So there are a lot of, my biggest passion again is, one of the passion is teaching and advocating, and also, giving a lot of public speaking activities that I do on a regular basis. So these are some of the passions that drive me. I have an overall approximately 19 plus years of experience in the industry on various topics. Like before joining Amazon, I was mainly working on microservices architecture as a solution architect. And at Amazon, I have been here for past 5 years. I will be completing my 5 years actually on 21st October this month itself. So it has been an overwhelming journey. Like it was announced that I have been working for FSI customers. So my main domain is working with the financial customers like banking and insurance industries. So I'll be giving you a glimpse about what security stands for in those terms. This is my handle, Mahima Saran 12. If anyone of you wants to connect with me on LinkedIn, you can connect with me, and I would be here until 3 p.m. today. So if anyone around has any questions or want to connect with me, please feel free to connect to me. Okay, before we begin the session, how many of you are actually preparing for AWS certification? Can you please raise your hands? Wow, so many people, I'm really happy. How many of you have cleared at least one certification? Quite a few. Anyone with more than one certification? Okay. Anyone with a specialty certification? Only 3, 4 I can count, right? So you can understand that we have, you know how important certification is, and you can see that if you have a certification, you are going to stand out in the crowd. You will be recognized that a person has a certification, that means he has a knowledge on that particular subject. Okay, so if we talk about the industries today, you have seen when we look at organizations, when we take their views, you will see that the availability of skilled talent, I mean there's a lot of gap in the industry today in terms of the people who have the right skills in cloud computing as well as in IT. The skills that organizations are looking for is very less in the industry today, and it is creating a huge gap. So if you see, 9 million jobs are unfulfilled today globally into the market, and at the same time you will see that you will also see that there are so many core skills which are there in the market. So for example, the Gen AI skills which are there in the market, in the next 4 years, if you have just the core skills like programming skills or you know a particular technology, all of them will become irrelevant because of the new technologies which are coming into the picture, the cloud technologies which are coming, the Gen AI technologies which are coming. So in the next 4 years, your core technologies or the skills that you have might become irrelevant. So it is very important to upskill yourself at a regular pace, right? And to know the various technologies and cloud computing technologies which are there in the market. So without the right skills, what is happening is, although organizations are investing a lot of money in terms of their cloud, right? They are investing a huge amount of money in the cloud for migrating their applications from on-prem from data centers onto cloud, but still they are not able to find the right skills in the market, right? 40 to 50% of the people does not have the right skills, or they don't even know what is AWS or cloud and how they can migrate their applications from data center to the cloud. So 75% of the IT organizations today feel that they don't have the right people and the talent that they actually need. Now because of this talent gap that we are seeing in the market, they are able to see slower migrations, they are facing extended project timelines because people take a lot of time in order to learn those technologies, to upgrade themselves to those skills. There is an increased team stress, right? There is a lot of pressure on the team members to perform, and at the same time they need to learn at a fast pace also. There is reduced efficiency and more. So there are many more problems that their organizations are facing just because of the gap in the talent pool that they have in today's market. Although we always say that the cloud gives you the platform for innovation, but we always say that it is the people who make it happen, right? If the people does not have the technology or the right skills, they will not be able to innovate much into the cloud today. What is the solution? How can you upskill yourself? The solution is AWS certifications. So many times when I'm, as part of these conferences or when I'm attending women in tech events or community events, there are many women who have taken a career gap, right? Who have taken a gap of 1 or 2 years, or many other techies come to me that although we are working in the industry for 5 years, 6 years, we want to start our journey on cloud, but we are not getting that opportunity within our organizations. So what is the way that we can start our journey? So my first thing is, if you want to start your journey, go for a certification. When you have a certification with you, when you are certified on a particular technology or a service in AWS, you can rightfully tell your manager, and even when you are appearing for the interviews, that see, I am certified, that means I have an understanding of a particular topic on a particular subject, and I am ready to work on a particular topic or cloud technology as well. So it becomes very, very relevant if you are not part of a cloud team or a cloud architect and want to start your journey, then the right path for you to follow is to start with a certification. Because when you start for a certification, you are actually gaining a lot of knowledge on most of the common services which we have at AWS, which we will use in order to create a very common application like a web application or a social application or social media application, whatever kind of application you want to create. Once you have appeared for a certification, when you are preparing for the certification, you will at least have a basic understanding of all of these services. So it gives you the right path and a trajectory in order to start your cloud journey on AWS. Another thing is, we always say that we have an understanding and a knowledge on a particular subject. But when you appear for a certification and you clear that certification, it actually validates and verifies that you have a knowledge. So if you are going for an interview also, and the interviewer sees that you have a certification on AWS on a particular cloud service, they have a verification that you know or you are a subject matter expert on that particular topic, and your interview will be smooth and you will stand out in the crowd to other people who doesn't have that certification. Although they might have worked a lot, but they don't have the certification, that means they are not having that verification or authenticity with them. Why AWS certifications are important? First thing is you are able to build faster, right? 89% of the time we have seen that organizations who have more staff who are AWS certified, they are able to complete their cloud projects faster by 89%. At the same time, they are able to troubleshoot faster. So let's say you are having a lot of issues when you are using an AWS service or deploying your application. If you have a good understanding of a particular service, you will be able to solve those issues faster at a greater space than not having a certification. Can you go to the next slide? Improve security. So like as I was telling you, I am part of FSI industry vertical at AWS. Most of my conversation starts with banks or insurance industries and various other customers, because when we go to them that why don't you migrate your workload onto cloud, their first question is it's a public cloud. Till now we were only keeping our data in our own private data centers, which was highly secured in nature. How can we get assured that we are moving our data to cloud, which is a public cloud, and at the same time it will be secure? Our own customers' data would be secure. That is where we are able to help them out with various services and the various responsibilities that we have at AWS to showcase them that even though they are moving their data onto cloud, which is a public cloud, their data will still be in a private VPC area where it is highly secure in nature and nobody else would have access to their data. So again, if you have a certification, you will be able to have greater conversations with your customers, with your banking customers or with your FSI customers on how you can secure their workload onto cloud. At the same time, you are able to reduce a huge amount of downtime. So all of you, if you have your applications running in your data centers, you have seen a lot of downtime is happening, right? If the workload is increasing many-fold at a given point of time, like during sale periods or during your year ends, there are many times when you have higher workloads running in, you have to prepare a lot before that. You can see a lot of downtimes during that time. Now if you are using cloud at that point of time, you can avoid a lot of downtimes just with the help of AWS, and if you have a certification, you will know exactly how to avoid such situations. 91% of the time you can innovate faster, right? You will exactly know which services to use in order to create your prototype. So like yesterday when we were having a session at Women in Tech event, there was a great session which was done by one of our fellow women lead on Party Rock. So anyone knows about Party Rock here? Have you used Party Rock? Right? So if you not use, just Google Party Rock. It's a public application which we have on AWS, and you can very easily use it to create a prototype kind of a application or an idea for yourself. So you can just type in your natural language the idea for which you want to develop your application, and quickly it is going to generate that kind of response for you. Okay? So you can create n number of applications, n number of ideas that you have. The biggest example and the simplest example is all of you have your LinkedIn profile, right? And you just want to understand what is missing in my LinkedIn profile or what are the areas that I can improve. You go to Party Rock, give the link of your LinkedIn profile, ask Party Rock that please suggest me what are the improvements that I can do on my LinkedIn profile, right? Very easy one. and it is just going to suggest and it is going to verbose the things which are missing and which you can add in your profile. Very as simple as that. If you have a document you want to summarize, you can do it using party log. So there are a number of services which we are offering at AWS which you can use very easily to innovate faster. Okay, so any one of you have ever run a marathon? Raise your hands please. How many of you are on a marathon? Okay, at least 50% of you. So what happens when you register for a marathon? Anyone? You start preparing, right? How do you prepare for a marathon? You prepare a 6 to 8 weeks plan in advance. You plan your activity, physical activity in advance. You plan your diets in advance, so that on the final day you are able to complete the race, right? The entire race that you are going to run for. So AWS certification is similar to a marathon. So in marathon you have to prepare a plan. Similarly, once you register for AWS certification, the first thing you have to do is you have to create a plan of action. That these are the number of days that I am going to, work on it. You have to prepare for your certifications, and you have to give certain simulator tests in order to prepare yourself, and on the final day you are giving your exam. Now what happens after you finish your marathon? There is a smile on your face, right? When you see that medal which is given to you after going through that finishing line. Certification is just like that. When you complete a certification, you get your score, you get that certification which certifies that you have cleared this exam, and you get that smile on your face. So it's similar to a marathon. Certification is like a marathon, and my personal suggestion which I always do whenever I appear for certification is, I register for my exam date first and then I start preparing for it. The reason for it is, if somebody tells me that I have to give an exam 2-3 months after and there is no deadline, I might not work on it. But if I know the deadline, I start working towards it as a goal. So if any one of you is preparing for your certifications, delaying it month by month, my suggestion is go ahead, book your exam date first. You can always postpone it if you have any emergency, okay? You can always postpone by within 1 year itself. So a great way to start your preparation for the examination. These are the available certifications that we have. One is the foundation level. So if you are very new to cloud, you have just started your journey, you can go for foundational certification. If you have a good understanding of cloud, little bit hands-on for at least a 1 year experience that you have at AWS, then you can go for associate certification. And if you have worked minimum for 2 years and you have a good experience working on various Amazon services, then you can go for professional certification. We also have a specialty certification. So these specialty certifications are on specialized services like networking, data analytics, databases, machine learning and security. So if you have an interest and you are working on a particular domain, you can go for specialty certifications also. One reminder here is, none of these certifications have any ladder or condition in place. You can directly go for associate certification also, you can directly appear for professional certification also, and you can appear for specialty certification also directly. There is no need for you to first complete foundational certification or associate certification. So you can appear for any of these certifications directly. Right, so we have all been talking about GenAI most of the time. The buzzword in the industry is GenAI. Raise your hand if any one of you are using any of the GenAI services today. Only this much? Nobody is using Alexa, nobody is using Gemini on Android or the ChatGPT, right? All of you. I think no one remains who has not used GenAI in today's world. So GenAI is the topic of today and everyone is using GenAI. And believe me when I am saying that by the year 2028, at least 97% of the companies, organizations would be running their workload on GenAI. So GenAI is the key buzzword today and it is going to be the prominent technology in coming years as well. So it becomes very, very important to upskill yourself on GenAI and machine learning. So if you are aspiring to become a specialist on GenAI or machine learning, you can go for this path of certification which we have. You can appear for an AI practitioner certification as a foundation skills. Then you can go for machine learning engineering associate certification. You can go for data engineering associate certification, and then you can go for a specialty certification on machine learning. So this is one path you can follow if you are at the beginning of your journey on GenAI. There is another beautiful tool that AWS has, which is called AWS Skill Builder. If you have not already used, just Google it. You will find a website to it and an application to it. The best part about Skill Builder is we have n number of trainings which are available, which are online trainings which you can do at any time of the day as per your convenience. There are multiple trainings which are available which are absolutely free of cost, so you don't have to pay for that. But there are certain trainings which are available which are paid as well. So as per the convenience, you can either go for a paid training, or you can appear at least, or you can attend some of the free trainings which are available on our Skill Builder. These are the next steps that you can take if you are preparing for your certifications. Okay, you can choose your certification path. You can select an AWS certification that you want to appear for. Do your exam preparation. The n number of tools available, including Skill Builder, where you can go through the courses in order to learn about the particular service or the certification. Right? Take your examination, and then you can access your certificate that goes into AWS account. One announcement is we have a 50% discount on Associate Challenge, which is going on until December. Any one of you who is aspiring to appear for Associate Certificate, you can go for this challenge, and you will get 50% discount on the vouchers for your examination. Before closing, I would just like to invite Adit Modi here. Adit, where are you? Guys, so whoever, huge round of applause for him. So Adit has completed all the certifications which we have at AWS, and the person who completes all the certifications gets a golden jacket. So I know my time is up, but I would still like Adit to talk about his experience of appearing for these certifications over here.
Thank you, ma'am, for having me. It's a pleasure to share the stage with you. So, hi everyone. Okay, so like as ma'am said, I've completed all the AWS certifications, and like as ma'am was saying, AWS certification is like a marathon, right? So you have to prepare well, and you have to practice for clearing certifications, and it's a never-ending journey. So like I have a couple of recertifications pending, so I'm again in the process of doing certifications, recertifications, and all. But if you are someone who's looking to just go with your certifications, I would highly encourage you give it a shot. Book your exam, as ma'am said, right? Because it is the first step for giving a certification, is booking the exam. So please do book your exam and then start preparing for it. If you want to know more information about my journey or AWS certifications in general, we have a career counseling booth. So do join us there. It's after the lunch, so do join there, and I will share my tips as well. And just one thing to add, so AWS has 50% off on associate exams. So do book your exam with that vouchers. You'll get 50% off on your actual payment. So that's one tip. Yeah, thank you everyone.
So much, Adit. Guys, before I end the session, I would like all of you to give a huge round of applause for the entire organization committee here. Nilesh, Dimple, all of you have done such a great job, and I really admire the kind of work that you have put in for this entire event. Really appreciate all your motivation and passion here. Thank you guys, thank you so much.
Thank you, Mahima. Please be on the stage. Thank you so much, and I hope everyone is going to be now participating in the certification marathon. And yes, certification is definitely going to change your life. It changes my life also. When I've cleared AWS Solution Architect in 2018, I got so many opportunities when I wanted to switch my career, and that's how you can also plan it. So I can invite Adit. He is the best one to felicitate Mahima on the stage. Please help. Thank you, Mahima, for inspiring all of us for and giving the importance of certifications. You don't have mic? Speak without mic. Yeah, I have one for you.
Okay, thank you. So I think people are bored of me. That's why they hide my mic.
I think me also.
Okay. No, I think people